Good morning, everybody. I'm here, ready to get started. I'm opening up my iPad and seeing if it's there. Okay. All right, let me get it on my computer and we'll be good to go. I have Ezzy with me this morning. She was, I don't know how long she's going to stay. We'll see. I'll put her in her crate, but she was playing around downstairs and just was really in a mood to play. So I thought, well, I'll bring her upstairs and see how she does. What? Yes, I know. So, but, oh, excuse you. She burped. She wants down desperately. She's learned that if she climbs up the steps enough, she can take and play around up here. I give her a little bit of time to play just to kind of explore and see things, and she likes that, but at the same time, it's like, no, no, no. She finds all the backs from the dimensionals and eats them, and so I just put her in her crate after a while. She's not real thrilled with it, but she will survive. Oh, my nose is itching. We're starting out with a sunny day, but it is overcast. We're supposed to have some heavy rain and hail today. I was thinking we were going to have it this morning, and I'm thinking, well, if I ever put that I'm going to be live and I'm not, then chances are I lost electricity. But I didn't today. So if that ever happens, know that I don't have electricity. I try to go on using my phone and post that, I lost electricity. Hey, Sharon, good morning to you too. So I have my friend with me today. She's been very clingy lately. I guess she's kind of going through another phase. So I just keep her close and play. Hey, Barb. Let's see, what else is going on? Well, I have to tell you, I had this really fabulous idea. And I came up here, I was going to play with the Enduring Beauty, which we still are, but I had to change my idea. I thought it came with an embossing folder. It doesn't. It's a stamp set, die, and stencils. So I had to really quickly, hey Janice, change my plan. So we'll see how this works. I don't know if it's going to or not, but we will see. All I can do is play and see what happens. And I didn't grab any ink, so once I get straight and have it, my image embossed, I'm going to have to grab inks. But that's what's going on in my neck of the woods. I have a huge mess up here this weekend. My goal is to start organizing it. I have a lot of retired DSP I want to post. I have some paper, stamp set, and die that goes together, and I am going to post that. So I'm trying to sell some stuff, and then what doesn't sell, I'm donating. So I've got to work up here on some of that. So we'll see how it goes and how much I get done. But I have 2 weeks before my next class. So if I make a mess up here, it's okay. I have 2 weeks to get it straight. So, let's see what else is going on. Not a whole lot. I'm just, I don't know. I'm not in the mood to do anything, but I've discovered it's that going down the rabbit hole on Facebook. So my goal from now on is if I'm not having a live, I am off my laptop at 10 o'clock and I come up here and I work up here and do some things up here. I get so much done if I don't do that. But if my morning gets shifted and I don't get my breakfast and all, I end up spending the day on the laptop, just kind of sitting there because I can't get motivated. So I'm changing it and seeing what's happening. When I did this before and I was off by 10, I did really well. I got a lot done. So that's my goal, to do that. All right, time for me to get started. I'm going to put her in the crate, and we'll get started. All right, there you go, girlie. She is probably going to fuss, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to get ready and flip this. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes, because I'm going to flip my holder down and put my camera in there. And then I'm going to flip it around up, and there we go. It says it's ended. So I've got to refresh the page because I know it hasn't. All right, now. Okay, a little bit more. All right. I'm trying to. Okay, I got it. You can open your eyes. My laptop is behind. My iPad is pretty much on target. So I'm going to move all of this out of the way. So as I said, I didn't get the Unbounded Beauty, which everybody is raving about. I got the Enduring Beauty. I liked it. So it's this stamp set, and we're going to play with this stamp. This is the Enduring Beauty dies, and it's got, you know, the one that cuts out the big one and then some leaves. So it's that. I may even try playing with stamping one and then cutting it out and cutting it up. And then these are the stencils. We call them decorative masks, but they're stencils. And I have to tell you, I was cleaning or doing something, and I had to take my stamp, that stamp off, and I just slapped it down here to hold it so I wouldn't lose it. Well, it doesn't like paper, because when I go to use it, you'll see there's a piece of black that I couldn't get off. It's embedded in there. It doesn't affect it because it's the back side, but don't put your stamps on top of the paper. This side is good. But these are the stencils. So let me pull them out, because we will be using those. We're going to use the stamp set and the stencils. Not planning on using the die. All right, there we go. So there's the stencils. There are, how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. All right, and this is, they have a notch, and I don't know if you can see it. There's a 1, so they've numbered them, and I'll show you how to use the notch for lining these up. All right, so first thing I have is I have my stamp on my, I'm moving my things out of the way. This does not have any cushion behind it, so you need to use the mat in your stamping platform. I happen to have the Misty. I am experimenting with several colors. I think I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to use the navy, and I need to see. All right. I've got to shift it over. Let's see how that works. Oop, too much. Let's try 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna put that there just so. Okay, and if I move that up, it works. I can put one here, and there. All right, I am gonna take and I'm going to ink this up with Versamark. And I went looking, let's see, and I put this on here because my, it won't fit on the, what letter is this? The E block, I think it's, oh no, it's F. It's not the block's not big enough. So you'd have to go to this one, and this is so much easier to use. So it is a big image. All right, I'm going to ink it up again. I've got a pretty good impression. All right, let me put that down. And okay, I think I have it. Yes, now I have a really good impression. And you have to be careful. Don't let these things get near each other. See, look at that. It's already pulling. They're very strong. All right, I'm going to move this over here out of the way. And I pulled in, it's one I've had from a while ago. I don't know what it is, but it's a yellow. And I thought I wanted to try the yellow on here and see. Sometimes the embossing powders don't show up, but I'm thinking that the yellow will on this. It's such a pretty color. I've had it for a while. Plus it's sparkly, and you know me and sparkles. Okay. Oh, pooh, I missed the top part. It didn't. All right, it didn't work, but give me a minute because I have a Versamark pen. I just gotta get it out. All right. Okay. I have a Versamark pen. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to try and add the top. And let's see if that works. It did. It's a little thicker, but I can deal with it. Oh, I didn't get that either. Oh my gosh. All right. I have to remember that when I do the next one. So that pen is a really good thing. All right, now I'm going to emboss this. So it's going to get loud for a minute. Let that heat up some. Where's my top? Close this up because sure as I'm sitting here, I'll hit that and that powder will go flying. All right, now cross your fingers that this shows up yellow. And you know the trick, right, about heating from the front and the back. Oh, there it goes. It heats up your paper. And you can tell when it changes because the color changes. All right. It almost looks gold. But there's that one. So I've got that one embossed. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to go back. This time I'm going to pull in a piece of black. I was looking all around for it. And I have to set it at 1/8 of an inch. There's that one, and that one. And I'm going to use some more Versamark. And I'm going to make sure I get it up there this time. I hope my stamp's not defective. I have used it and I don't remember it. Let me add some more. Every once in a while in the process, you get a stamp that is defective. This one might need more than 2 coats. All right, I'm really pushing up there. Or 2 inkings. It's not showing up. I'm going to do it one more time. I can see it. Oh, now it's showing up. I guess it just took it a while. And I checked. The top is there this time. All right. So there's my Versamark. I'm going to do this. And this one I'm going to emboss in silver. Since I couldn't do what I originally planned, I'm going to go with an alternate idea. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way, this over here, pick this up, and I'll leave that there. I'm going to move it, and I'm going to pull in my silver. No, this one is white. Sorry. No. Which one was I going to do now? I think the silver. This one, I'm going to do this one in white. Yeah. Changing my mind here. It's like, I'm thinking and it's like, oh, this is not. I had pulled in a couple of different ones. Because when I had to change, I came up with some different ideas. And the one thing I forgot to do, oh my goodness, I totally forgot to add the, okay, got it. Totally forgot to add the embossing buddy. And I got a couple of stray spots I will get. I was going to use the iridescent ice. All right, here's a spot down here. When you do it on the dark cardstock, that's when you get your flecks. All right, give me a minute. I'm gonna tap it really hard into the trash can. All right, let me heat this up. All right. And see, if you heat from the front and then go to the back, your paper curls, but it does change and it lays flat. Plus it helps it to melt faster. Embossing powder is a bunch of tiny pieces of plastic, and the heat tool melts it. I'm going to flatten my paper back out. The heat tool melts it, and that's why it does what it does. So, all right, there's that one done. Set it aside, and let me find my, whoops, where's my, I was looking for my, here it is. Nope, that's a paper towel. I was looking for my little Swiffer. I wonder if I used it in, all right, I'm going to have to do something with this, but let's get the last one done. Now, I've used Versamark on here, and I'm going to go in and continue to use Versamark. I had pulled in the white because I was thinking I was going to use the white with the white, and I messed up, so we'll just continue this way. All right. Oops. Hang on. There we go. See how I've got you couldn't see it on the others, but you can see it on this one. That's from the my package I set it down on. So the back sides of these are as sticky as the front sides, so just keep that in mind. All right, let me add one more. Hopefully, because that moved, that it didn't, it's not going to be blurry. See, it's really sticky and pulling up. I'm looking to see. So far, it's good. She sees something on the floor. I have no clue what it is. It's probably a box, and she's growling at it. The other day, she was in my bathroom, in my shower, because I have a walk-in shower, growling at my shower poof. She just was growling and barking at it like crazy. And it was like, it's been there forever. What is your problem? So, I don't know. Every once in a while, she sees something that's like, it gets to her. I almost knocked over my package of silver embossing powder. All right, let me do my silver. I'm going to move that out of the way. All right. I've got to pick this up. You have to be careful where you hold it. Oh, down here. I was beginning to think I hadn't hit it, but I just missed putting some embossing powder on there. All right, I got a couple of spots I got to get off. Let me put this back on here so I don't make a mess. I have done that. All right, I got a couple of spots here. I even mentioned using, all right, let me just aggressively do it over the trash can. All right, let's get started with this. Oh, there it goes. This would make a pretty wedding card. I'm holding this at an angle because I find if I catch the light, I can see if I missed any embossing, and I did right here on the tip. Because it'll look gray, it won't look silver. All right, so got everything embossed. Now, let me take a paper towel. It's not going to be the same as my Swiffer. I don't know what I did with my Swiffer. I'm wondering if I used it and just didn't get another one because I didn't need it. But, all right, I got rid of it. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go with the black one. All right. And I totally forgot to bring up, I have a sticky mat that I use. Let me see if I have any more. It used to be in that. I have a piece of one. These are mats. And I got it at Amazon, on Amazon. But they're mats for your die cutting machine. I have a Cameo, a Silhouette Cameo. Come on. And they're sticky. Oh, there it is, wrong side. That's why it won't work. They're sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to stick down my card, And then, all right, we're going to take all right, now this is not going to work the way they say it will. Okay, these are the leaves. No, they're not. That's not the way it goes either. See, those are leaves. Let me see. Nope. All right. These are leaves, I know. Let's see if we can't get the leaves done. All right. Well, maybe this doesn't go with. Let me flip it this way. I'm wondering, this doesn't go with the stamp set. Well, that's a bummer, because there's the flower. Well, now I'm shifting all around. Okay, those don't go with the flower. I guess you... See, the ones that I've had before, the stencil goes with the stamp. This doesn't. This you just put down on your card and color it in, which I'm not a fan of. All right, so we're going to shift again. All right, I still need my white, and I need my sponge daubers. So let me get my sponge daubers, and I'm going to get my small set that I have, if I can find it. Oops, downstairs. Everything's downstairs. All right. I do have a blender pen. Let's see if this will work. Once you use a blender pen for what is it called? White craft ink. You can't use it for anything else. It's then permanently your white blender pen. So I would suggest you take one you've used up and just designate it for your white and keep it that way. This will work. All right, I'm going to do that flower, and then I'm going to come up here and do this flower, because I'm going to do different colors. Okay, so you have to, and this isn't hard to do, you just kind of going through and coloring it, but it helps if it's on that mat. All right, and I won't do the whole image. I will do part to show you what it's going to look like. All right, I'm going to let that dry. All right, I'm going to I'm thinking, no, all right, I'm gonna, this one has sparkles in it, so they have a tendency to come off. And I am just coloring over the gold, because then I can take and wipe it off And hopefully the gold will show through. Today has been a change in plans all the way around. Okay. What I'll do is I'll do part of it and then I will videotape, will end and I'll videotape the other. All right, now hopefully that will come off. I'm making sure I've got all of them. Okay, there's that. All right, so there's that and that. Those two, they have to dry. So I'm gonna move to this one. And for this one, I can't use my alcohol inks. They're downstairs. Let's try sponge daubers. Let's see if they will work. Let's do a pink. I just have to be very careful. Oh, good point, Barb. Let's find out. There's number one. See now, it's not upside down. This flower is like this cluster here. Oh, oh, oh. Well, that's interesting. Good suggestion, Barb. I was trying to go at it straight, and it's not. All right. All is not lost here. Let's still do this one in pink. It's at an angle. I just couldn't figure out why. Well, that's why. And this is when your mat would be great. To do this. Because it shifted on me. All right, now I'm not going to. Oh. Wow, you noticed it more than I did. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I figured this out. All right, I want a darker color. Pink. Let's do Melon Mambo. And I gotta get all right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in very lightly and just hit, like, I'm doing them all different. There's the bottom. Let's go around the edge of that. And then what I'm gonna do to blend that in, I'm gonna go back with the bubble bath. So I'm getting a two-tone flower. All right, now. So I'm getting rid of those harsh lines by just adding some more. Now you just need to be aware that this may have, and it does, have some Melon Mambo on it, so the next time you use it, clean it. But I got a multicolored flower that way. All right, I'm gonna set that aside because I gotta clean it before I use it again. All right, there's those. Now I need my leaves. Oh, well, that's how I could have gotten in more color. All right, never mind. All right, here's this. This time I looked at it. All right, so there's that. Let's do Granny Apple Green, which is where? Here. And let's do Garden Green. I don't know if I need another one or not. We'll see. I want the dark one, this. All right, so just know you got to kind of play with it. And I would consider that a bud, but they've got it on here with the leaves, which is not, to me, a good idea, but not much I can do about it. The other thing, see, this is, if I had that mat, I should have pulled it off. It would prevent this from slipping. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try my blending brushes. There should be, yep, here's the other one for the leaves. Let's see what happens. Let me try a blending brush and see, rather than a sponge dauber. All right. And this is Granny Apple. Okay. At least we'll get one done. But I'll show you what I'm going to do with the others. I think the blending brush is a better idea. I want it darker though. That's better. Hit the edge. Just stuck my finger in it too. See, I think that should have been a bud. I'll have to remember that. All right. Let me try. I got to wipe all this off. Let's see. Let's see. This one goes here. I don't know if I can get this one lined up. This one is a funky one. Now, I think I'm going to leave it. I should have done that later, but I think I'm going to leave it. All right, so there's that one. And I'm going to move it out of the way. Now, let me take this one. This helps to hold your stencil also. All right, let me dry this ink a little bit. I'm going to dry this one at the same time. Doesn't take much. All right. Now I've got to wipe these off. So let me get, and don't do what I did in my YouTube live, or my video for my stencil series on YouTube. I took and I wiped it off on my card so that the green, and I'll show you, it was blue at the time, it comes out very lightly. So it was on my card. Let me kind of wet this. Towel. Okay, there's that one. Now I'm going to do this one so it has a chance to dry. Your pink can stain. Ooh, made a mistake there. Watch that. I went across it and bent that, so you got to be careful. That's why I wash them, because they've got all these little pieces and it's really easy to bend them. So I just hold them under the faucet and wash it, but they take a while to dry. All right, now I'm not using these because my centers are embossed, so there's no sense doing that. I need this, and I'm going to experiment here. Oops. This way. I'm going to oops, I missed a piece there. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to push that down so it's held in place. I am going to block off here. And I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to block that off. And now I'm using scrap paper that I have here. Or I shouldn't say scrap paper, but scrap one. So it's going to have color on it. But I'm going to try, let's try the metallic rub-ons. And I'm going to use this. All right, let's do these in red over top. Again, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we'll find out. You have to put the white down because it won't show up if you don't. All right, I'm going to move that there, leave that one. I'm going to pull this one here and stick this one here. All right. I put it in the wrong one. This is messy, so if you don't like to get messy, don't do it. All right, let me wash my finger off. I will probably have a red finger for a while. All right, there we go. Let me take this off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully buff. All right, so it comes out really pink with the white underneath. But I don't think it would show up, but let's find out. Let's do a set of leaves. No, let's do some flowers because this isn't really a green. All right, I got to get that off of here. Let me take these off. All right. I got one corner where I wet this thing. I have to go looking for it each time. Oh, that's a cool effect. That's a cool effect. I might try that. All right. Let's see. This goes here. And it's sticking to my mat. Okay, come on. My sticky mat. So those sticky mats are really good for this kind of thing. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to block this off here. Oops, you got to put it right side up. Okay, there. And there. And there. All right, let's try this and see what it looks like on the black. All right, I'm only going to do the one because I want to see. Clean my finger. See what it looks like. It's no sense doing all of them if it doesn't work. All right. Oops. I don't want the wet one. I want a dry piece. See, I don't know how it would show up because, pull it up. See, it's really light. So, you know, they really can't see that there's any color there. So I think it needs the white underneath. But then again, you really got to buff it to get it off. All right, so there's that one. I will finish it later. And then we have the navy one, which is here. And let's see. Where's my, oh, there it is. I was going to say, where's my thing? And I'm not using that one over there, so I'm not going to worry about cleaning it. All right. I will take these pieces and cover up that. I want to use a sponge dauber on this because I want to try yellow. Let's see if yellow works. I don't know if it will, but all we can do is try. I'm not going to use the sponge dauber. Let me get another blending brush so I can see. And the small ones are good for this thing. This is Daffodil. And again, I'm just playing because I don't know if it's going to work or not. All right, let's take this off. Move it out of the way. And let's wipe it off. And when you wipe it off, make sure you use a different section of your towel. It is coming off some. Looks more green than anything else. So this is something I've got to play with a little bit more and share it with you because it's not how I thought it would be. Like I said, I don't know why. This one's not too bad. Maybe it's just the color on that one. I don't know if I did. Well, let's try the sponge dauber real quick because it's still got yellow. Let's see. Now the key here is getting it matched up. There it is. Let's see if the sponge dauber puts down more color. And like I said, I wanted to do this with the embossing folder, but it didn't quite have one. All right, let me wipe this off and we'll see how it goes. That's a little better. I just think yellow's not the color to use. So I may have to put another color on top of it. All right, well, let me pull these back in. We did do okay with this one. It did work out, but it's one of those things. Experiment. All right, if you get dizzy, close your eyes. I'm going to flip this up. So let me see. I don't know why it was, okay, it didn't work out, but that was my fault because I didn't realize that it was not an embossing folder, which I would have loved to have done because I think it would have done much better than this because I had to emboss it, whereas I could have embossed it. I had to wet emboss it, this kind of embossing, versus the other embossing with the thing. All right, well, I got one good card that I'll make into, or one good panel I'll make into a card. And I'll work on these two. I'm not really against this one. I think it's going to have a soft color. I just have to play with it. This one, it could have been the color of the rub of the ink that I chose. I might try it with crushed curry. And again, I could go back and, well, I can't heat set it because I think it'll suck it into the stuff. All right. Thanks for sticking with me. It was fun. I always say you never know what I'm going to come up with. And I always think in my mind, it may not work. This was one of those days. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have good weather. We're supposed to be rainy all weekend. So a perfect day for me to work up here and play with trying to get this room a little bit more organized and going through my stuff. I will not be live Monday night. I have book club. I will be on YouTube Wednesday at noon, and I'll be back here next Saturday, unless something comes up between now and then. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.